welcome everybody to the 5th session of Into the Maelstrom.
Excitement.
What did we do last time? Who has memory of what we did last time?
I bought a dress.
We bought a dress. Yeah, and so then you beat direwolves, and I ended the episode on Nyla going, well, that was crazy, or something like that.
Oh,
which
me being a smart ass.
Just a little, yeah. So we kind of come in on our players having just beat a group of direwolves. And the researchers did leave, so you've got a few direwolf bodies who are unconscious, not dead.
Is there a dead one? Is there a dead one?
There is one dead one. There is one dead one who I think was McMuffin. If I remember correctly, it might have been Martin.
We're gonna make some McMoney off of McMuffin then.
Yeah, might make some McMoney.
So I would
forgot
like
that
to
the names.
You'd like to
skin it.
Okay.
Yeah. Pelts.
The worth of each pelt is going to be about 20 gold pieces. Again, this is dependent on the merchant you go to, but an average price will be about 20. We are currently at Shaeth Waes. You are about a half day from the end of your mission to get the letter to. That's if you cut.
Yeah, are we on our way?
I will say the half day is if you
Waes?
cut from the lake to Shaeth Waes. If you want to, it'll be about a 3/4 day if you want to check out Ain or Theed. So that's up to you guys. But this is currently where you're at right now.
So what? How long has it been? Do we think since we left our last inn and everything?
The Lyran Lion.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking do we want a half day speedrun it there, or is it getting late and we should go somewhere to settle down?
It has not been longer. It's probably still early morning.
Gotcha.
You left at dawn when the sun
True,
rose.
we did.
That's probably about 9 hours. You probably spent 2 at most. So it's 100 hours out of the 36-hour day. You have 25 hours until it gets to the next day. Probably 16 until it's dark.
Okay.
Roughly, again.
So we continue.
So we can go
doing
straight
that.
there if we want.
Yeah. So
We
you can
chill.
Continue. Do you want to half day it to Shaeth Waes, or do you want to go to Ain or Theed?
We can just. I think we could just go to Shaeth Waes.
Mosey on.
Yeah, I think just to Shaeth Waes.
We've spent enough time
Dicking around. It's time to be serious.
Yeah.
Serious
Absolutely.
time.
Sounds good. You're walking past Shaeth Waes. This is a big lake. Again, but you've seen lakes now. Lakes are old news, right? We're walking away from lakes.
They're still pretty cool. I still think they're.
Still beautiful, still stunning. And you're walking into the forest. You've decided to not take the path to get to Ain or Theed to, finish this journey as quickly as you can. And as you're walking, could you describe can we describe where everybody is on the cart right now?
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie? Martyr?
Yeah, Ronnie. I'm Ronnie. Martyr is at the front with the horses like they tend to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume it's the whole time has been the tieflings.
Yeah,
doing
the
that.
big ones.
Because one's a ranger and one loves animals. I'm somehow better with animals than the ranger.
Yeah, what experience with animals besides farm animals?
It's because you're nice.
I am nice. Sometimes.
I'd say I'm kind of near the back of the cart like usual. I sort of post up near the tailgate, if you will.
Okay.
Almabena is also near the tailgate, whittling a little wolf.
Oh, a little wolf! Dude, this is so cute. I love the little whittling.
I love you, Albana.
Nyla, could you tell me where Maud is?
Yeah. Maud is hanging out on top of other people's luggage. And is just meditating again, regaining those hit points and key points and whatever. Yeah, just hardcore chilling,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a question I just thought of. Do we get a short rest on this trip?
No, this one's not. Not yet, at least.
Fuck. Okay.
Ronnie?
In our downtime, I'd like to do a thing.
Okay, absolutely.
Knife time. Woohoo! Collects
Oh, you're
my
gonna
knife.
do the thing.
I gotta. I'm scared. I don't
Okay.
want to get hurt again.
All right. Describe what happens, what is seen for Martyr.
Martyr pulls out their little knife. Yeah, so Martyr will pass the reins off to Ariadani, which by now has become kind of like what Martyr is doing. And they will reach into his little satchel that he got and pull out the blade and hold it to their chest and kind of put their head down and close their eyes.
Beautiful. So same thing as always, you guys are kind of seeing Martyr go into a meditative state. Martyr, you are in a different place than you were before. We're not in the cave.
Oh, immediately.
You have seen this place before.
Okay, listen.
You have seen this place before. You understand that this is the preferred domain of the youngest sister. This domain, you see the three fates sitting on stools aside of a large golden throne. The throne is not sat on, but next to them is the stone of the small stools. You see the middling sister spinning the string. The floor is a white quartz with golden veins throughout it. And looking around, you see large quartz and stone pillars. There's no roof here. The wind is sharp and strong, and you feel it whip against your skin in cold mountain air. It's kind of the same dimensions as the cave, looking at, roughly the same diameter. Looking around, past the pillars, you'll find yourself on the top of a tall mountain. Only sky can be seen, unless you choose to go to the edge, which you have before, so I'll describe that for those of us. At the edge, you're greeted by sharp vertical cliffs and spikes, and down at the mountain's base, you see small villages that live under the protection of this mountain. In this domain, you'll see that the youngest sister, the one who I've described in the cave as having like a dark dress on that clings to her curves, you'll see that her dress actually becomes lighter, more of a purple color in this domain and less of that dark, sort of cave-like aesthetic. Sister, who I've described before as sort of a timeless being, I'll give you more of a description now because this is her preferred domain. She has a very girlish look and facial features. She maintains the ideal old Grecian body type. And as I said before, her age seems to defy time. At a glance, she looks very young, and at another quite old. Look again, and she just might be middle-aged. She is mid-sized and extremely round and soft features. She wears a grey peplos, a Grecian cloth that is a large rectangle folded around the body. Hers is folded in the classic style that giving her a sort of cape with like flowy sleeves attached at the wrist. She appears gentle in her movements and in expression, but in her eyes there is a glint of something that sends a shiver down your spine. Her presence intimidates, and the closer she is physically, the more intimidation and unease one tends to feel. Martyr is used to this feeling and feels less unease, perhaps more of an anxiety, like one would feel if they were at the risk of being punished. She glides along the ground as if her feet never touch, and with each step, she threatens to float up into the air. Her hair is textured and has a muddy brown color. It's tied behind her head in a large braid. She has pale skin and round hazel eyes. Martyr dear, come, sit.
Martyr approaches and kind of looks confused as to where she's supposed to sit.
You'll see as you get closer that almost out of thin air, another stool seems to appear.
They will very politely kind of do the thing where they brush their dress out to sit modestly on the stool and kind of fold their hands in their laps.
Martyr, I'm to tell you a story today. Would you like to hear it?
Why, yes.
There was once a large group of people, many, many years ago, who wanted to travel. They wanted to explore the world and see more than just the one place that they were at. And yet they were told they could not. They were felt they were owed this. Now why did they do that? Prevent us from travel? They had exclaimed. They fought the others in an all-out war. It was a glorious war and well fought, but the battle ended in their deaths. But they took one with them, one from the other side. And now the one they took travels with them forever. I wonder how they feel, constantly traveling. Anguish, agony, joy, euphoria? Look, my dear, and she'll gesture to the middle of the floor. Do you look there?
Yes.
What you'll see there is a long rope, longer than any of the strings you've seen before, and it's sort of pulsing and glowing faintly. And the oldest sister will go, "It is either the end of the war or the cutting of that string, not both." And there'll be silence throughout the three sisters, as if looking for you to say something.
Am I to find this person at the end of the war?
Martyr dear, maybe. It is either the end of the war or the cutting of that string. And I think that...
So,
Yes, Martyr?
that makes them miss the pause, the yes word. They kind of gulp, and they're like, end of the war, or the cutting of the string. Does that mean it's either sacrifice them and the war? Or let the war continue to happen?
It is either the end of the war or the cutting of that string. The war ends,
I see.
or we cut the string. And at I see, she will, she'll kind of sit back and she'll be like, "We'll see you tomorrow, Martyr." And sort of a jolt goes through your body as the wind stops pushing on you from the top of this mountain, and you find yourself back on the cart.
Great. Didn't like that. That one wasn't fun.
Don't bang
Martyr kinda
anyone
comes
like
back.
that.
Martyr comes back too, and they always look a bit like confused and disoriented, as if they're trying to figure out the riddle given to them. But this time in particular, they seem very more distraught than confused. And they, instead of taking back the reins like they usually do, they're going to reach for that their little notebook that they took notes from the book in the library, in the Lyran library, and like scanning through their notes kind of frantically, trying to figure out what the fuck meant. So taking down notes of what was said.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Martyr can choose to tell you about it, or she might not.
Hey, Mike, is anyone prying? Does anyone want to pry about Martyr's
If she
uncomfortableness?
does, please.
Maud is not paying attention to anything.
I was just gonna say that. Gutflip doesn't notice you even were holding the knife.
If they look like more distressed,
Unfortunately,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think Almabena is like, facing the opposite direction and like is on the opposite end of the cart and also like carving.
Yeah.
So,
And also, this isn't
Unless
something you
you-
haven't seen before.
yeah, so unless you are like actively like seeking out her like emotional support, she's just doing her own thing.
Yeah. Faria, Donnie, yeah, Martyr looks distraught. And you've seen them be, like, kind of uncomfortable after these things. Like they're kind of, like, twitchy, and, like, their legs bouncing.
Everything all right, love? You look more shaken than normal.
Yeah, I mean... It's just same old, where they tell me something that doesn't really make sense. I guess this one feels different. It feels more severe.
Severe how?
I could be wrong. I'm not the best at interpreting what their poems mean until, it happens, like last time with the boy. This one was about the war going on. They said, and like she looks down at the notes that they wrote. They said it's either the end of the war or the cutting of a string. Which, from what I know...
Cutting of a string?
Yeah, so my patron are the Fates. And they hold the strings to all mortal lives. So you cutting of the string means someone's time is up. Yeah.
Going to die.
So what I'm thinking, it's either we end the war by sacrificing someone important, or we let that person live and perhaps lose the war.
Let the war continue on. If they stay alive.
I guess, I don't know, but that's what it feels like.
I suppose it depends on the person.
Yeah, it meant that person's warrior trapped in battle.
You didn't get any other information on this person? Other than a warrior?
Someone that prevented someone. They prevented someone from traveling, and now he has to travel forever with someone. He might be feeling agony or euphoria. They said a lot without saying much. I'm really confused.
Could everybody roll a perception check for me?
Yeah.
And also, in addition to the perception check, I need Martyr and Ariadne to roll a dexterity save.
Oh, lovely.
Awesome.
Oh, right.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Come on,
Nice.
don't
Good.
fail me now. Oh, that's not too bad.
Fuck's sake.
No, I need you to roll a perception check.
Sorry.
Oh, you saw so bad.
Okay.
Can I use my passive perception?
What's your passive?
16.
Yeah, my passive is also
Yeah, we
16.
can
Martyr,
Okay, thank you, because I rolled an 11.
Martyr rolled a
and
16
yeah,
for
I
perception
rolled
and
as
6 for
well.
dexterity.
Okay.
So, for both rolls, the dice rolled a 5, so that's a 10 for the dexterity save.
Okay.
I got a 12 for perception.
You got a 12. Alright. So actually, only Elmavena can kind of hear a rustling in the trees that is unlike the wind. And is the only one who hears the fast, wind-breaking sound of an arrow whipping at the cart. And Ariadne, in a sort of cat-like reflexes, manages to push their head back and miss this arrow. But Martyr gets an arrow sliced right across the cheek. And I'm gonna need you to take
Ow.
3 points of piercing
Owie.
damage.
Was it on my good side?
Do whatever side you want it to be on. You hear this rustling in the trees. Do you do anything about it? Do you tell your...
I do yelp.
Well, the arrow just, came out,
Well, those things happen simultaneously.
yeah, I'm
So-
gonna be like...
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, guys, I hear something.
And at the arrow whipping past and not hitting one of you, there's going to be a voice out of the trees, and he's gonna go, "Stop right there, we got you surrounded." Do you scream?
Almabena is gonna, jump off the back of the cart and, stand, on the ground.
Nice, okay.
Kind of on
Garflip's
her
gonna
guard.
stand up in the cart because if I were to jump onto the ground, I'd look less intimidating due to my staggering stature.
Part of
So
me
if I
does
stay
want-
on the cart,
Okay,
I'll
you're
look
gonna
cooler
jump
and
off the
taller.
cart.
Well, I'm not like it's not like that
hopping
high.
off.
It's like me sliding off
Okay,
of
okay,
the,
you're
like
hopping
I'm
off.
seated.
I thought
and
maybe you were
it's
doing, like, a
sliding
full
off
jump
of a
off.
truck bed.
No, I know. I just wanted to make sure because if you're doing a full jump off, I'd make the DC low, but I kind of wanted to see if you failed. But we're fine. If you leave
If you
it.
roll for it, I will.
We'll
You
leave
want
it.
to make Elevena look make a
What's
fool
your
of herself.
dexterity?
Like, is there a passive dexterity?
Well, I mean, it's just like your. Do you have a
Yeah,
good,
what is
do you
your
have a good
modifier?
dexterity? Yeah.
I have a +2.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Fine.
Again, wild.
That's not very good, but enough to scoot off of the end of a cart. Then fine. You're gonna see a very short human man walk out from behind a tree to come in front of the cart, but a little off to the side as to not be like right in front of horses, because and he's gonna go. All right, empty your pockets.
Does he look alone?
He said you have it surrounded. You can
Oh,
try
I
and.
guess he did say that.
Can I roll a investigation, just like look around to see if I can like sense anyone?
Sure,
Slay.
sure.
Also-
The DC's gonna be high.
Can I also?
roll that.
Yeah, you can look around.
11.
You know that the trees were
The
rustling
trees
in a
were
way.
rustling.
Like
yeah.
know that the trees were rustling in a way that was not the wind.
Okay.
So you
That's
can-
all I know on a nat 20. Okay.
This
cool.
is the best possible outcome of you understanding that. So let's understand that this investigation
I
check,
got
the
an 11.
DC is going to be high.
I got a
Cool.
22.
You got a 22? Okay.
My
Okay.
investigation is +7.
Not good.
No.
Ignore my roll.
But with a 22,
Yeah.
with a 22, Guckflip looks up into the trees and with his absolutely scholarly mind, just, you see that there are 4 sort of, like, what you're seeing is not a full person, but just bits of, like, color of, like, clothing, or somebody being not as stealthy as maybe, to the average person, of course, but somebody with an investigation of +7, but you can identify at least 4 people
Okay.
are in the trees hiding right now.
I'm going to then, I'm going to also slide off the cart, and I'm going to walk around to.
Godflip's gonna have to make a dexterity check. I want to.
It's not that high,
I want to
bro.
embarrass you, though.
But you were standing. You were standing up in the car. I was seated.
Are you jumping off or are you sliding off?
I'm just gonna slide off the
Oh,
back
fine, then.
and waddle
I just want to
around.
embarrass one of you, but it's fine. Like, we don't have to let me do that.
Mod does a
gonna waddle
backflip
up.
off the cart.
I'm gonna waddle around to him, and I'm going to.
Why are you waddling? Okay.
I'm gonna hand him 30 gold.
Okay, you're gonna hand 30 gold.
I'm gonna hand him 30 gold, and I'm gonna say, "This is all we've got. Listen, we don't want any trouble. We're just trying to pass through. These guys don't have anything. Because, I'm trying to look as rich as I can."
Mm-hmm. He's gonna take that and he's gonna put it in his bag and he's gonna punch you in the face.
Fuck!
You take 1 damage, one point of bludgeoning damage. He's gonna punch you in the face and be like, "I'm not a fool. You've got luggage on there, and I know that these fools have got something else too. So don't be pussyfooting around.
Who, me?
Good try."
As Mod stands up
So
and
he
does
took
a
30 gold
flip.
from you and punched in the face.
Now we're gonna kill him.
Okay. Mod stands
tried.
up
Sucker
and does a
punch.
front flip off
Yep.
the cart.
Nice. Mar
Yeah.
doesn't need me to make a dexterity check. That's fine. You do it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Can I
Yeah.
produce flame cantrip?
Mm-hmm. While that may be happening, is there anything anybody wants to do at seeing Flip gets punched in the face?
Can I
Yeah.
laugh?
Godflip tried to stand up for everybody.
I know you tried. You did.
You tried so hard, sweetie. Yeah, so Maud did her beautifully amazing front flip off of the cart. And saunters oldly up to where Gutflip and the dude is.
Sorry, saunters oldly. That took me out. Sorry, continue. Yeah, he saunters up to the dude.
Yeah. And pats Gutflip on the back and says, "You did all right, sweetie." And looks him square in the eyes and goes, "You're a mean man," and punches him.
Okay, roll the hit.
which is unarmed.
Mhm.
Just like, eye for an eye kind of thing, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
14 plus 7, so that would
Yeah,
be
that
21.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bop
Yeah,
him square in the
You
nose.
you bop him square in the middle of the face, just like
Cool. And he gets, screw him, 10 points of damage. I rolled 6 plus 4.
What?
6
Okay,
plus
this just
4.
elevated. This just for an unarmed strike. Good
Yeah.
lord.
My
Monks.
thing is 1d6
Damn.
plus 4.
Yeah,
and I got
no.
6
That
plus
was an
4.
eye for an entire soul. Okay, no, don't
Max
worry about
damage.
it. Yeah, like, okay. No, don't worry about it. At seeing him get punched, he's going to, like, stumble back. Like, that took him out of it, for sure.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna, like, wipe his face, and he's gonna be like, alright then. And everybody roll for initiative. You're gonna see, at this happening, 5 people are going to fall from
18.
the tree onto the ground. Oh yeah, baby. I said you saw at least 4. That didn't mean you saw all of them.
18 initiative.
Oh, no, you know that nobody healed between that last fight, right?
These are
Okay, cool.
You were
Murder.
Hey,
I'm just making sure you know.
just so you know, as a DM, you didn't have to fight them. You could have been more self-preservation, but you decided to walk up.
I
and
tried to pay him off.
and she punched him in the face. This is the consequences of our actions.
God,
everybody.
you always cause problems.
I don't control mod.
This is the consequences of our actions, everybody.
I don't
Mod
control
is
mod.
slowly turning into our pet cryptid. Cause like this is just unhinged
I got a
shit.
17 for initiative.
I'm
Okay.
just trying to defend a scout's honor.
Also,
sorry.
I just figured out my produce flame thing.
Okay, I got 10 for initiative.
Okay.
Nice.
For the produce flame to make an attack, it's just a spell attack, and I just figured all that shit out. Don't know why I didn't have it written down. That's on me, bro. It's just to make a ranged.
You can do that.
spell
You can do
attack.
that right now before we get into initiative.
In that case, it is a ranged spell attack.
So sorry. What was everybody's? Yours was
17.
17.
I'm also 17.
Can I do something before we go fully into initiative?
Yeah. What? Well, depends on what it is.
Can I go into my shell?
I guess.
You punch and run.
Yeah, so it's called shell defense.
Punch and just...
I just get, when I'm in my shell, I have a +4 to bonus AC.
Okay. What do you have to use an action to get out of your shell or something?
Yes.
Like, that feels like that would be.
I do.
Okay.
I have to do an
Okay.
action.
Sorry, Maud. What was yours?
Oh, mine was 10.
10.
I love that the old turtle did a backflip off the cart, sauntered over,
I go first.
said,
What
"Let's
cost?
try Gus," patted me on the back, bopped
Oh,
him in
no.
the nose, real hard,
No.
and then I picture the going into the shell as, like, the shell doesn't move, like, all your limbs just go in, and the shell falls to the floor.
That's what I was imagining as well.
Just
And that's everything that happened.
I think that's really funny.
Just from inside, she goes, hey.
Does a 16 hit this person?
A 16 does hit this person.
Okay, he takes.
You're hitting the same person that Maud?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like flicking fire. He takes 6 points of fire damage. I
Great. So
roll
you
low.
burn this man to the point where he passes out.
Hot dog.
Nice. One down,
So-
4 to go.
Just took out your leader.
Or 5 to go.
Yeah, you
This was the
literally
mob
just took out
boss?
the leader. This was, well, he was a part of the mob.
this
You don't
group?
know that he was the boss, but he was the leader of
Front
this
man.
group. You understood
He was the
that
front
from
man.
context.
Yeah, he's the lead singer.
Yeah, he was the lead singer. Trying to think of like what the logical thing my person's gonna do right now is try and hit Elmabena.
What?
Don't worry, it doesn't hit. You feel a arrow fly right past you, and you're like, the fuck? But it doesn't hit. Martyr, you're next.
Hey, girl. I'm a little eased. I'm a little even.
Hey, you can try and de-escalate.
No, I'm angry. They hit my good side, so I'm gonna do it back. My crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kill
Valid.
myself. I'm that one. The crossbow.
Oh shit!
I,
Okay, roll the hit
Fine.
and see if you hurt yourself while you do. But
yep.
or okay, so we can do this in two different ways. Is this a ranged weapon? Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll a
My bad, Chief. I'm so sorry. 2.
D6. We'll do D6. What'd you roll? Sorry, a 2. A 2. You hit Almabena.
Oh, fuck! You take points of damage, my love. So sorry.
Sorry, sis.
Fuck! Sorry. As a bonus action. I'm having a hard time.
Fucking
Okay, it's a
Butterfingers
girl.
over here.
I'm so sorry. I'm just a girl.
No, it's
pet.
okay.
Almabena's like not looking great.
And for the arrow, really, and
She's okay, but like
so creature. Hey, Veronica, you're cursed. I get an extra 6 card damage where I hit an attack. I also choose one ability when I cast a spell that you have disadvantage on, so you're gonna have disadvantage on dexterity.
Okay. Yeah, her name is Veronica. She is just off the, like, you still see her, she just came out of the trees.
That's all I got. Nothing. He's cursed.
Oh, I'm just cursed. Great, okay.
You have disadvantage on all of your dex saves.
Okay. And that's the end of Martyr's turn?
Yes.
Okay, it is now Almabena.
awesome. What does the situation look like?
So the
Who's around?
situation looks like right now. I'll give everybody a little.
Yeah,
so
where is everybody?
love you.
Yeah, so
All the
you see-
enemies.
your cart is in the middle of the road, right? You're middle of the road. You're just going along. What happened was 2 people on each side fell out of the trees. You know, there's one that's just kind of off the back of the, 2 that are just off the back of the cart on each side, one that are kind of on the centering of the park, and there's one person who was clearly, like, fell from the same tree that, his name was Charlie. The older guy kind of came out from, or the short human guy came out from behind. This person is younger. This person was clearly just supposed to be a watcher, and so they're not entirely engaged. He's just kind of behind a tree,
Off to the side.
Off to the side, yeah.
Cool.
So there's
How-
4 people
So
we're
there's-
actively concerned about, plus that 5th guy. In the
Well, it
bush.
depends on how you feel actively concerned about
There's
him.
2 at the end,
Yep.
and then 2
2 in the side.
at the sides,
And then one
there's
person, yep.
The
And the,
guy kind of farther away.
Yep.
So
Okay, how close are the people surrounding us?
they'll be within 10 feet. That guy's probably 15 feet from the front of the cart. Just behind a tree, kind of using a tree as a bit of a shield.
And Veronica is close to.
Veronica
at
is
the
closest
back?
to at the back,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna take out my short sword and
Okay.
try and go
Run
for
over
her.
and fuck that bitch up.
That is a 15.
Hits.
Awesome. That is 10 damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you slash Veronica. I mean, you can describe if you would like, but
No, it's okay.
you slash Veronica across the chest, and she is like, she's damaged. She's almost limping away at this point. She's realized this is not worth her time, but there
I
seems
look like
to
extra
be.
scary.
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck
You
with me.
would like to. Yeah, absolutely. You can have a little bit of advantage. You can have advantage on intimidation checks right now if you want. I think you usually do, don't you?
I have pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty good at
Intimidation.
intimidation. Anyway, but there is a sense that she is still staying within the fight because there's a care for these people that are like fighting. So she'll stay. She's not running away. Is what I mean. It's now Gutflip's turn.
okay, so I'm not really concerned about the one in the brush. Actually, okay, including that person. Are they all within 20 feet of me?
Yes.
Cool. So, I am going to cast sleep
Okay.
at the second level. So that means I'm going to roll 7d8. It's 33. Okay, so I'll let me read to you how the spell works so you know what I'm talking about here. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell
You
can
rolled
affect.
68. Are you allowed to do
I
the
took-
second spell?
Second spell increases the amount of dice I use.
Okay, so yeah, so 6 is fine. Okay.
It was 7. I just took-
Yeah.
Oh, you just said one. It was 7.
Casting
Okay.
at second level added 2d8.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so yeah, sorry. So whatever. So yeah, the total is how many hit points of creatures this spell can affect.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many creatures around me here can I affect with 33 hit points?
Left or total?
Yeah,
You,
33 hit
if you
points
want
total.
to, you can get all of them.
I can get all 5 that are still up?
Yep.
Absolutely, I want to.
I have
Yes,
a question.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yes.
cap on how many, and can you choose who you're affecting?
So it says, creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends. The sleeper takes damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake.
Uh-huh.
There's no cap on the amount of people, but yes, I can choose how many people. Yes.
You can
As far as
choose
I'm
who
aware.
you're casting this
Can
on.
I read this?
Yeah. I'm as far as I'm aware. Yeah,
you let
no,
me
you're
read
right.
it?
Let Mail read it, so the DM can make a call on this.
As far as
the way that I interpret.
yeah, my interpretation is I can choose who I'm casting it on within that range.
This might
No,
be
you
a
can't.
fear situation.
Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose.
Creatures.
So the point you place, 20 feet.
Yep.
Anybody in there.
Yep.
You are all creatures.
Okay.
With the exception, I believe, of yourself, I would assume.
And it's hit points left or
Um,
hit points total?
So it seems to be that
I'm-
it goes through until it uses up the 30
I believe
hit
it's
points.
that creature's current hit points.
Yeah, so current, and it is current hit points. So, let's go through this.
Well, okay. In that case, I'm gonna
you're not-
choose to cast it on all of us.
Yeah, you can,
It's fine.
You can change
It's
the point
fine.
that
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna
casting.
I'm gonna move the point.
Luckily, this
Um,
doesn't damage us, though. That's the thing. So, like, I don't see...
No,
the
no,
issue.
yeah,
it's
it will just make
sleep.
everybody sleep. But obviously, I don't want us to sleep.
Depends
Um,
on how much hit points you guys have, because you only have 30, and you're gonna go through these guys.
True.
Like, it depends on it depends on the
It
money you're
starts with the
betting on
creature with
which
the
hit points
lowest
they
current
have
hit
right now.
points. But these guys probably all have quite high as well. You'll only be asleep for a minute.
You might.
The duration is only
depending on-
1 minute.
That's 10
But
rounds,
regardless,
I think.
that is enough time for me to just hoist you all onto the cart and then ride out of there.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it,
You're like, oh, they're all dead. They're all sleeping.
I guess they're all asleep. I'll just. I mean, actually, better thought. It is enough time for me to go wake each of you up. It takes I just have to use an action to, wake the sleeper up.
But
So I could, in theory, just cast it on everybody. Wake.
it depends
the
on if
four of
we're
you
in
up.
that
Yeah.
the cap, right? Because like if it,
Everybody will
That-
be in the
Everyone's
20
in the
feet.
20.
True. One of the enemies could end up being not in that cap because it starts at lowest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, to be safe, then I'm going to cast it. I'm going to cast it so that. And I'm gonna cast, like, let's say the cart's here. I'm gonna cast it like over here off the back of it, so that those two guys out
Sure.
there are the only ones
Yeah.
really affected by it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Just so that they're even.
Okay, I'm
Elma
in
Bandit, you're
there.
gonna have to text me your hit points.
Are you next to?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like right next
Yeah,
to
she's
them?
right next to him.
I'm in melee range.
That's fine. That's
Text
I
me
feel
your
like
hit points.
acceptable casualty.
Popping the bomb on top of all of us isn't gonna necessarily be a bad thing, because I feel like we have more hit points and, like, are
then they would,
so far
yeah.
in the list that they won't make it to us in time. And even then, it won't make it to us
I
and
just-
also knock us out.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. Did you want to go with the back plan, or
You know what? Fuck it. Gutflip doesn't think much. You know what? No, sorry.
That's his
No,
whole
sorry.
thing!
No. You know what? Gutflip.
His whole thing is thinking.
Gutflip felt. Sorry for changing my mind like 7 times on this.
Oh,
Gutflip felt like he was made a fool in that exchange. We're getting punched in the head, so he's like, "Fuck these guys." Sleep. Not really thinking about
20 from...
20 foot radius
Okay.
around me.
I'm gonna need everybody to text me their hit points. Oh, you're so lucky, Scout.
Am I really?
Yeah, you are.
No.
This worked out so well for Scout.
Did it?
I'm gonna describe... Okay.
Yeah, no, get into it.
What do you do when you cast this spell?
I'm going to angrily speak the whatever the what's the word I'm looking for?
Incantation?
Yes, the incantation.
You can
I'm going to speak it.
decide what it is right now.
Some magic will flow. I picture sleep as a pink spell, and I think that's because of Baldur's Gate. But
Sorry.
anyway, a pink energy resonates sort of from my hands, and then sort of poof out in a bubble around me.
Okay.
Upon everybody in 20 feet, obviously, and then everybody affected just and falls.
Honk shoe.
All right.
Honk
So
shoe.
what everybody sees
Yeah.
is Guckflip cast the incantation, and a sort of pink energy comes out, as you said, like a whoosh, and every bandit drops, flies. Each one.
Including the kid in the bush?
Including the kid in the bush. In fact, he was the second one to go. It went Veronica, Luke, Sharon, Julia.
What's with these names?
Yeah, that's their names, okay? And they just drop. You've got now 6 bodies around you.
Okay.
Hop in the car, let's go.
Elma Bena felt a little woozy for a second, and then was like, "Oh, I'm good.
No.
As I walk over to what was the first Charlie? Was the first guy?
Charlie was the first guy.
I walk over to Charlie and I take my 30 gold pieces back off his unconscious corpse. Actually, I say to the group, "All right, we got 1 minute. Let's get the fuck out of here."
Or
Maud
they're
pops out of her
bandits.
shell and immediately hops onto the car. Let's go.
Or they're bandits. I assume they've taken some stuff before. Let's quickly nab some stuff and leave. I go over
Go
to
for it,
Carly
make it
and
quick.
grab his coin purse, I assume. It's on his hip.
Yeah. So did you took your 30 back?
I took my 30 back.
Great. He'll have like 65 gold on him right now.
They got reverse
Uno
banditized.
reverse card.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally Uno reverse carded my bandits, but you'll never know what they could have said. Who knows?
Don't care.
Well,
That's alright.
Don't care. Where's
Don't care, didn't ask.
they started to
Where's-
yell.
Don't care, didn't
Where's
ask.
They resorted to violence
Yeah.
way before we did.
Well,
Is it 65? 65 question mark?
How much?
Yeah, 65 gold pieces.
noise.
Do I see anything on Charlie as I'm taking my 50 gold that might interest me? He's the only one I'm looking at, so I'm curious.
You gave him 30, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, I meant 30.
Yeah, okay. I was like, just so you know, you're not taking
Yeah,
extra
yeah.
20.
No, I know,
I mean, you could if
Yeah.
you were there first before before Ariadani got there, so you could
I'll-
theoretically take a little off the top if you wanted to.
Does he have any items on him? Like,
Only, I
on
guess,
in
he'll
there.
have swords, he'll have, like, clothing that you see typical of, like, Lionora.
I am going to drag Veronica
Oh.
off the road,
Okay.
and steal all of her arrows.
Nice.
How
Okay,
many
good
do I
one.
get?
Oh, shit.
Do we want to
I didn't
tie
think
them
about
together?
that.
Do we want to tie them together?
Oh!
So when they wake up,
Yeah.
so when they wake up,
we
they'll
could
be
do that.
I
This is
will-
a better idea.
stuck.
Because then even if they wake up, they're going to be
Do you have the
tied.
time to drag them?
it's a the spell is
You have
1
a
minute.
minute, and I will say we've probably spent 20 seconds on getting
Yeah,
the
we've
gold
already
off
spent
of
some-
him.
I don't think we have time.
I am
You
separate,
did that
like,
you did it at the same time. So you got 40 seconds left until these guys. Do you think it is plausible to be able to drag them and tie them up? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so. Alright, so just loot and run
Dang.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Maud's
said just
already on the
loot
card.
and
I
run.
will say this though. I'll give you this.
Alright.
Okay.
Finding on him, because you searched him first and you searched for other items, you will find on him just a small like scribbling saying Fae are suspected to be involved. Just those words on a small piece of parchment, like almost just a ripped up parchment, and it was like placed in his pocket, sort of in a passing moment, like as if this conversation couldn't be had out loud, and so it had to be written down, and that is all you will get. And I will text that to the group chat.
I'm not
How
gonna
many
take
arrows
that,
do
but
I
I'll
get?
take a mental
Gracious.
picture of it.
What's the average amount of arrows that somebody would have on them?
20?
Yeah,
20.
starting kit
20.
is like 20. Yeah.
There's usually 20 in a quiver.
She shot one.
Yeah.
She shot one to 19.
Okay, cool.
She had two actually, 18.
As soon as everyone's back on the cart, Martyr's gonna get the fuck going.
Yeah, you gotta move fast.
So you don't take the paper?
I take a mental picture of it and I'll share what it said once I'm
Okay.
on the cart with everybody, but I'm not gonna like take the paper itself.
Are we
It's just a
galloping
piece of
now?
paper.
We're galloping.
Yeah, you're galloping.
While we're galloping, Marta's gonna go to Elevena, or turn to Elevena and be like, I'm so sorry. Are you alright?
I'm fine. Don't worry.
Well, that was
I'm a
exciting.
bad shot, I forgot that. I wouldn't use exciting as the word, Maud.
Maud is over here vibrating with excitement.
It's like she just chugged 20 espressos. She was so ready.
Well, we made
My
some
jaw
more.
kind of hurts, but I showed those guys.
Sure did.
Yeah, you were. Oh, punch in the face.
This reminds me when I was young.
When do you share about the paper, Godflip?
I'll share it right now. I took my 30 gold back as well. He didn't really have much else on him, though. Just a piece of paper that said the Fae are suspected to be involved. I don't really know what that means.
The Fae are tricky ones.
What's this about the Fae being tricky?
That's very general.
Blank blank.
There's a lot of
I don't know. It looks like it was just jotted down, to pass a message to somebody because it couldn't be said out loud. I don't know. I just wanted my gold back.
I suspect
War is also pretty tricky.
the Fae are suspected to be involved in the war.
That it is, Maud.
We mainly hail from one spot, though. So
Marta kind of has a moment of like, oh yeah, I'm Fae. Because like, they weren't raised.
yeah.
I know, but that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
A tiefling from Dieso would forget that they are considered Fae by the common people. Yeah.
Maud also forgets that there's
Also, even before they went to some lore, before Martyr even went to their library, they weren't raised by their people, so they kind of aren't. They only know Fae, like tieflings are Fae because of what they've read.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
So they're a little like weird. Like they're like, why is our Donnie taking this so personally? And goes, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Don't deny that
No, that's real. That's
trickery
accurate.
is something that we do indulge in as long as it's harmless. Mild to moderate
Is it-
severity. As long as no one gets hurt.
Isn't the Fae a type of plant?
No, darling.
No, love. No.
Fae's like general.
No,
Oh.
you're thinking of a fawn.
Which is... No, a fawn is also a creature. I think what you're thinking of is
Thinking
fern.
of fauna because that's animals.
Yeah, no, that's the joke.
You're thinking of
fern.
fern. You're
Yeah,
the
oh,
smart
that's
one.
it.
I mean, when I talk to my patrons tomorrow, I can ask them about it,
Oh.
but they're not really direct with
On,
answering
on
questions.
what a Fae is?
But I'll still ask on what the Fae are
Well,
involved
if-
in.
Oh.
If it's not upper stepping,
Exactly.
do you think we could help you try to decipher what they say? You could relay it back and have multiple heads be put together.
Sure. It is
Wait,
what?
sorry. You have patrons?
Martin just kind of like giggles a little bit, goes, "I'm a warlock."
Maud looks very confused and then just slowly nods, pretending that she understands.
Welcome, Maud, to the campaign.
Martin will be like,
Maud never played Dungeons and Dragons. Why would
Martyr
she know
kind of will be
what a
like-
warlock is?
Martin will be like, you guys want to try and
Who are your patrons?
Oh, they're the Fates.
Oh.
Martyr kind of like, why'd you say it like that? She doesn't say that though. She just kind of lets you look. But we'll be like, I can tell you what they said to me this morning. If you guys want to try and like get a head start on trying to decipher what they say, but it is really confusing. I've been doing this since I was 15. It doesn't get easier.
Well, if you're comfortable, then I'd be happy to help.
Sure. Yeah, Maud?
Oh no, I'm just saying meta-wise. The reason why I reacted like that was because I don't think you've ever explained to us
No.
that
Martyr's
who
very...
your patrons are.
yeah.
That's why I'm reacting this
No,
way. I thought I would
and
just say out
I
loud.
think Maud, with her memory problems, also can forget what a warlock is. Like, very easily. Just be
Oh
like,
yeah.
I only know spell? Magic hammer?
No, but Martin is like... Martin kind of like take breaths. and hand the reins over to Ariadne so they can take out their book and be like, alright, I'm going to recite exactly what they said. And they kind of like give a shaky breath. They also don't know how they're going to react to them sharing missions, so they're a little nervous. But they trust this group. I don't like your smirk, Mail. They're going to say, they wanted to tell me a story. They said it was a group of people who want travel. They were told they could not. They felt they were of this. Why did the other do that? Prevent us from travel, one of them. They had exclaimed they fought the others in an all-out war. It was glorious war, and well fought. They all ended in their deaths. But they took one with them, one from the sad. Now the one that they took travels with them forever. I wonder how they feel, constantly traveling. Anguish, agony, joy, euphoria. And then she said to let a long string or rope pulsing and glowing in the room. And then they said, it is either the end of this war or the cutting of that string, not both. Questions? Concerns?
At the first part, Ariadne kind of goes stiff. She's attentively listening. And then you talked about, what was it? It was like, something about, they took away something, and she's like, it's like a pause and I'm gonna steer the horses and listen.
So that's how they speak. Yeah, no, they talk in prose.
Well,
so.
that doesn't make any sort of sense.
How much do you know? This is more a question for Marta than any of the others, but how much do you know about the relationship between Your Mammalia and the rest of the...
Hey DM, how much do I know about that?
I'm guessing, not a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
I will say...
I would have read a little, but...
Yeah, due to the reading, you can
Like,
roll a
outdated
history
stuff.
check, and I can tell you some things.
I get a history check? I like those.
Yeah.
I get those. Oh, finally, something I can do.
Also, a question for the DM. Or I guess maybe also for Martyr, but
18.
Meta-wise, how much would Martyr tell Elma Baena about previous,
she would have
their patron?
I don't need to answer
probably
that.
never, she's never done this, where she gives you a full play-by-play of what they said to her. But they've definitely told you some of the things they say, and also she described what she sees. So you know the rooms, you know what they know about the Fates, but you don't know what they say to them a lot of the time. They tend to, before this moment, that you've noticed that they tend to keep very close to their chest, almost as if it's because it's kind of the only thing they had to themselves for a really long time, so they protect that. So this is a big thing, them telling everything they said.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you would know that the Fates hold threads to all mortal life, and when they cut it, it's someone dying.
Cool. Would you have described the, threads to me before? Okay.
Not in depth. You would know that they're three sisters. Yeah, not in depth. You would know that there's three sisters.
Okay, would you have described them to me, physically?
Yeah, not, any tales about how they
their appearance?
treat
And,
Martyr, how they speak to Martyr, how they
no.
look, how they act around each other. Just what they look like, and the general gist of some of the stuff
Yeah,
that
you'd know. I would say you would know a general idea.
It's
of,
just a general idea of, what they do, not anything about, appearances or physical. Cool. Cool. I just have some thoughts about the rope, but it seems that Elma Baena has no thoughts about the rope, so it's fine.
Madison has thoughts about the rope. Elma Baena has no thoughts about the rope.
Alright, so the consensus is we don't know much about Your Mammalia. And the...
Okay.
What was
Can
your
I roll a
history check?
history?
So,
Oh, okay. 9. You know nothing. You know nothing. I think in this moment,
Ends up being a 10.
Martyr kind of has a recollection of reading an outdated understanding of like an outdated summary of the war of ADWPD, and this described this is what you know of Yoma Melia, like the relations that Yoma Melia has with the mainland. And it described the treaty that we're all aware, like on some levels, if you have any sort of like political machination at all, like you maybe Almabena doesn't, but I think that the rest of you would have some awareness of the treaty that was signed between the mainland of Tisigri and the islands that are on the outcoast. The treaty that prevented the Fae from opening a portal to the Feywild and to the Infernal.
Martyr will.
This treaty also prevented action against the mainland by the Dragonborn and by Awazajit later. However, this changed it politically. But yes,
Are the Dragonborn Fae as well?
the Dragonborn are not Fae.
Okay.
The Fae is part of the Yoma Melia realm. So we've got like satyrs, fairies, obviously, your classic Fae creatures like fauns and stuff like that. And then tieflings, the tieflings native to Yoma Melia are also considered Fae, and by association of like tiefling race, tieflings are just considered Fae by the common people. Like that is just, but you know, race is a social
It's
construct.
culture.
So, there's
Getting into anthropology right
culture. So you remember that. You definitely remember that. And you remember that. I mean, you can conclude from that Yoma Melia, and specifically the islands, but Yoma Melia does not have a good relationship with the mainland
Okay, so when their allies will kind of just
because of that.
they kind of sigh and be like, I read about it when I was younger, but mind you, that was very long ago, and the texts that I have were quite dated. I do know about the treaty and Amelia's strained relationship with it, but that's what I got.
Well, that's enough information, I think. So you know what I'm talking about. I think that what you said your patron said has something to do with that. So this little note that says the Fae might be, the Fae are suspected to be involved, might ties to that, I'm not sure, but what yours says, at least, what tipped me off immediately was they felt like they had something taken away and owed. So in regards to this, the first part, the people who wanted to travel, I think, like they were told they could not, they felt they were owed. That is pretty 1-to-1 to the treaty. About, like, I grew up in Dahlia, one of the capitals, and like every couple years or so when the treaty was to be signed again, it was a lot of grumblings. I had to keep my mischief cut short as to not blow fuses.
As Ariadne seems to be kind of struggling to get this out, also knowing that like she usually doesn't struggle to speak, Martyr is going to put a gentle hand on top of their hand. But they won't say anything, we'll just let them speak.
That helps.
Yeah.
That definitely helps.
Yeah.
I'll say most of this is Harley, but you know. Yeah. The next part, they took one of them. I'm not quite sure what that could mean. Looks to the others. If we're putting our heads together for this.
We may be able to ask Lord
That is true.
Waesneros
We could do that.
about this when we deliver
I think
the
we should keep
letter.
that one in mind.
My mind went to a not so great place. I hope that I'm wrong. Do you think that maybe the warlords of the mainlands took someone for a while and just kind of used them?
Ariadne goes rigid. Doesn't say anything.
Little rub on the back of her hand.
In what way? In what way?
Just with what they said, with about how, someone was taken and now is constantly in war. If you think that they're talking about the people from the Fae, maybe someone was, forced into that role.
You think you think a Fae was taken?
I don't know for sure. It's just I'm trying to piece together what they said.
No, I understand that. I'm just trying to. So, from what you're concluding from what they said, you think it was a Fae that was stolen? More has the hand up. Okay. Interject.
Oh, it's not really an interject. I just was wondering if Mail could do the echoey thing, because in Maud's head right now, she's zoning out and is just looking at you two holding hands and going, "I love my lesbian grandchildren." That's it.
Yes!
Let's go, lesbians! Martyr they kind of like shudder, as if, because are very, I don't know if you can tell by all of them, a very Instacat one. And they have a lot of self-doubt. But they kind of...
I don't know if you could find all of them.
We couldn't tell at all.
I mean, I hope not, but with context, that's what I'm thinking. I know that, people from the mains can't always be trusted.
So, I can confirm that. So, with what they said, then it talks about they fought others in an all-out war. So you're thinking that someone was taken from way back from when the war happened.
I don't know.
Then.
My main concern is just I don't like what they said.
Not this war, but the last one.
It's either the war ends or the thread is cut.
I think that matter might really depend on what the thread is, or who the thread is.
The thread is someone's life. It always is.
Mm. So you're thinking it's the Fae that was taken?
From context, it's what's making sense to me inside right now, but again, I can't be sure. I'm not the best at deciphering what is said to me till it happens. For example, the last message I got from them was a boy caught by a beast, a ring on no finger. The boy mustn't die, not just yet. I had no idea what that meant until, the boys ran up to the cart and we had to go save that boy from the beast fight, and then I knew what it meant. So, I never really understand what they're...
But who was getting married?
What?
Oh, I was thinking about the ring too. I think they meant, like, the fighting ring.
Yeah, the fighting ring.
A ring on no finger.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that's... Your opinions are quite clever.
Kiss ass.
Was he?
You just hear from the sky. Kiss ass.
Martica like chuckles and they're very hard to understand, and it does not get easier with that.
Mm.
But they're very helpful.
If you'd like anything that you feel is urgent enough that needs to be figured out, I can't speak for the rest of the party, but I know I will absolutely try to help as much as I can.
Thank you. I've never really shared this much about them before, and I don't know how they're gonna react. They say it with like a shaky tone. They're holding your hand, you can feel them shaking.
Yeah. I'll give like a little reassuring squeeze.
And they'll be like, I'll see how a conversation goes tomorrow, and we can move forward from there.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure that all of us are coming at this with respect. It's not want to intrude for the sake of... You're obviously struggling with this and we want to help.
I mean, they've been kind to me. they got me out of a really, really bad place. So, I owe them everything.
Mm. I have a question. Have they shown you ropes before?
The string, always there. One of them was always spinning. They hadn't, I deal with the prophecies of people's strings and their lifeline, and I've been shown mine and people's around me, but I don't, it's...
Are they different colors, or like different? Do they look different per person, or creature entity?
The only difference, I can just answer this for Martyr.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference that Martyr would see is in length and brightness of the glow.
The only difference I really see is length and brightness of the string. I don't 100% know the reason why, but I can infer that just means who's got more life left to live, who's as dull and as they're, reaching their end.
I see.
But I don't know. Conversations are very, ashen and then they go away. I don't get to ask many questions.
Okay.
How long or bright was the one you saw today?
Good question.
This is
I think it was
you
in the
gotta
thing.
answer this, buddy.
Pulsing and glowing faintly. It says a long
pulsing and glowing faintly.
Oh, was it?
Marta kind of goes,
Yeah, it's a rope.
it was long, it was a rope, and it was
Oh, adding to that, it's probably the longest you've seen.
great. It was probably the longest one I've seen. Its glow wasn't consistent. It was pulsing in and out.
Mm. And is the glow connect?
So maybe we are to infer that this person is quite old then.
So
Probably. Or they just have a lot left to go.
the glow I feel like is the
Yeah.
glow also indicative of length? Like you said, it was sometimes they were burning out, or does the glow mean something different? Could the glow mean brightness of character?
I don't know. I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry. While speaking about this and sharing more information than they have, does Martyr feel anything? As if, shut the fuck up? Or, are they normal?
I think you feel normal.
Martyr kind of... What was your question, sorry?
Is the glow also indicative of length? Like, you've got not a lot of energy left and then you're fading away? Or is it, brightness of character? Does it mean something different than the length of the rope, for example?
I don't know.
That's fair.
They tell me what they want me to know. They tell me what's gonna help me in the moment. Sometimes I don't know if I'm sitting on. They don't help much. At least nothing directly.
Well, in my opinion, it would seem as though this person is being kept alive by magical means, or I don't know anyone old.
No? You don't?
I hate that we all snickered.
Sorry.
Nobody at all?
Continue that, and my mind went blank. That's where it is. I don't know anyone.
I have
old.
another
I don't
DM
know.
question. When I was reading, this is... I'm sorry. Maybe I'll DM you.
Yeah, meta-wise, I'm thinking it's gotta be either they're being kept alive by magical means, and hence why it's kind of pulsing down, because they're in a sleep-like
I love the
state,
face.
maybe.
Yeah. I'm assuming the length is indicative of how long they've lived, and the glow
Well,
is
because
indicative of how alive they are.
Well, because the big flooding thing
that's my
happened
current assumption.
400-ish years ago, right? So like that's pretty.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a bit.
The Fey War that I was talking about earlier happened.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Wait, what year are we currently in again? I always forget that. 400. Okay, so math.
196.
Yeah, it happened.
96.
And so I scrolled
460
through
years ago.
when asking for the backup things and stuff. I would have shared this when this was for people who didn't know. I referenced the war so people. Anyway, Mel, you wrote 80 PW. I don't know, but then you said PWD.
Pre-drowning.
Yeah, so PW and PWD are the same
Post-world.
thing. It's post-world drowning or post-world, like,
Okay.
or, like it's post-world drowning or post-world drowning.
So
Same
are
thing,
we
it just,
currently
like,
in
depends
PWD?
on- If you want to say the whole thing sometime.
Okay. Fucking math.
Yes.
Yeah.
320.
For the context of the listeners, you would
Yes.
understand that the world drowning was what brought everybody to this continent.
One thing that Martyr will say, with the utmost confidence, is they might speak, a bit strangely, and I know the whole deciding fates and people's lives things is a heavy topic, but they are kind people, and they trust me, and they do well. I trust them.
I wasn't getting any tip off that they weren't that, so I'm glad that you're confirming it.
What gut flip, I guess? Can you roll history check?
Yes, sir. What is that?
9.
Listen, Martyr's backstory is crazy.
Did you roll your tiny little dice?
Because it's sometimes my best dice.
So is Ariadani's. And I'm like, what the fuck?
16?
Yeah.
So, from the social position that you have in the world, you would have grown up having learned about the royal families of Tisigri and the way that they function. You would be aware, because I imagine that it was something your child self kind of latched onto and thought was very funny, was that there is currently a man who is ridiculed for being the oldest man in Tisigri. And this is just relevant, like, that you would know this. And he is 787 years old.
Do I know? Is he like himself, like a royal,
He
or
is,
he's just?
He is currently an advisor to the king of Esserin.
Okay.
But he is alive and well in the kingdom of Esserin.
How old is he again?
787.
Okay.
You wouldn't know maybe his exact age, but
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
he's old
yeah,
as fuck. But just in terms of, like, maybe Gutflip would think of this
Yeah.
when discussing
Yeah,
like old
absolutely.
people in the continent.
Yeah.
And there's also a couple other royals in the world who are like 340 and 304 and like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Not quite as old as Maud, but
Yeah.
something.
So, if my assumption of this string is that the longer it is, perhaps the older the person it's attached to is. There's a man who's part of the King of Esserin.
Kingdom
Okay.
of Esserin.
Yeah.
Esserin is the kingdom.
There's a man who's a part of the Kingdom of Esserin whom is some, like, 780 years old or something. That's the oldest person I know of in Tisigri.
Perhaps, maybe, we'll keep that information and keep that in mind. Maybe find out what we can about him, what his role is.
Are you saying you want us to go to Esserin?
No.
Good.
I'm not saying we must go or anything. I just... That's
I definitely
the only
don't
real
want to go there,
connection I
so
can make.
we're
No,
not,
I don't
as long as we don't
necessarily
have
wanna
to.
go there myself either. Trust me.
Yeah, you definitely don't. You're not looking.
Considering
the
we're
people
at
of,
war with them.
Exactly. I don't think any of us want to go to Esserin. I'm just
I
saying.
think also the people of Tadbolt are kind of like looked at as like the short ass little
Yeah.
bitches. You know, like
Exactly.
Listen, high elves are pretentious whores,
They are,
and
and
I
that's fine.
kept that
Thank
in.
you.
Okay.
I'm just saying, in my...
Yeah.
I'm just saying, as I grew up, I heard, from my family of this man and how he's quite old.
That's good information.
As
Thank
far
you.
as I'm aware,
So-
he's still alive.
So if someone was taken during the war, the first war of the Fae, then they would most likely be in Esserin and be very old. That's quite unfortunate. She's like gritting her teeth.
Squeeze him
Flick them.
supportively.
Angry.
Okay, break time.
I'm excited for lore!